Last time I showed you how to make snowflakes, and we used a protractor to help us get the angle right that we wanted for the equilateral triangles. We started by folding and getting a shape that looked like this, and then we cut off this rectangle. So I'm going to start with one of those rectangles. I'm going to show you how I make the smaller snowflakes. I'm going to take this corner, just like I did on the big rectangle, and I'm going to pull it up to the top. And I'll extend it just beyond that so you can see where it is. And I'm going to pull it to this direction. And as I do, I'm going to try to bring this so that I can get a nice sharp corner there. And once I've got that, hold that down, crease away, and get my scissors and cut it off. This is 2.5 inches. So this is a 2.5 inch square, and I could get out of that strip of paper another one and another one and still have a little bit left over, as this is 8.5 inches. So we fold it like this, and what we wanted to find first, if you remember, was the midpoint of this longer side. It's got the funny name hypotenuse of this right 45-degree triangle. And the way to do that is we'll take one of the 45-degree corners and bring it over to this corner, and we'll match it up, and we'll just squeeze this a little bit so we know where that middle point is. Now, I'm not going to use a protractor this time. I'm going to experiment a bit and try to use my good eye. I'm going to try to fold this over. I remember that it stuck out somewhat like that. So I'm right at the mid. I'm going to fold it over like that. And then I haven't creased it down. I'm going to take this side and fold it over that and try to get it so that this is lined up with that side, and this is snug here. And look, I'm not too far off. It's sort of a guessing game. You can switch to pull the two a little this way, a little that way till you get this one right into that and that along there, and then you can crease it down. Take your scissors once you turn it over and cut those two long parts off, coming from that corner to that corner, and you've got your equilateral triangle that you can then explore like you did with the much bigger triangle. And when you fold things out, you'll get much smaller snowflakes, as I showed you last time. I want to say something else before I leave the snowflakes. I'd like to say a little something about a man by the name of Wilson Bentley. This is a book written about him. It's called Snowflake Bentley. And it's a lovely, lovely book. A very moving book about a man who, when he was growing up, had a lot of interest living in the country with nature. He was always exploring it, bringing things in to show his mom, or his dad. And he was quite fascinated by snowflakes. And he would try to catch them on his mitten and look at them, but by the time he got it in to show it to anyone, it would have melted. He was at home. His mom schooled him till he was 14. And about that time, she gave him a microscope. Around that time, Wilson went to school, just for a few years. I don't know what he did on the days when it snowed, whether he stayed home to collect snowflakes and look at them with his microscope. He kept a piece of black velvet in the barn where it was nice and cold. That's where he had his microscope set up. He'd go out, collect a few snowflakes on his piece of velvet, bring it in, take tweezers, put them on a glass slide, and observe the formation of those snow crystals. He wanted so much to share their uniqueness with people, he would try to draw them. Every time he tried to draw them, before he finished his drawings, they'd melted. Out he'd go again. Try again. Out he'd go again. Try yet again. Until finally, he saw an ad. The ad was for a camera that was attached to the microscope, so that what you saw, as soon as you saw it, you could take a photograph of it. He asked his parents if they could help him. They finally decided that they would. They used their life savings and bought him the microscope. And with it, he made photographs like these. I'll flip through some of the pages to give you an idea. These are taken from a book that he published in 1931. This is a copy that's made by Dover Publications and is available. And if you look at the amazing centers to the snowflakes and the unique, I couldn't begin to dream about cutting out snowflakes that looked like these. But I marvel at, here are an infinite example of what he found. Never found the same kind of snowflake twice, that they are unique. There's an infinite solution to the question of the shape that a snowflake can take. Much more solid, little hexagons inside, little star hexagons, thinner, perhaps more fragile snowflakes, some thicker ones. Again, the inner, the start, they must grow from a center point out. So if anyone ever asks you, there's only one solution to a question, you say, well, what about snowflakes? There's infinite solutions to the making and design that a snowflake can take. More solid ones, but again, the structure inside is amazing. Near the very front of the book, they have a photograph of Wilson with his camera unit. He's not in the barn in this. He's older, but he continued to make these photographs. In fact, this book has 2,453 photographs in it. Until next time, thanks for joining me.